and partner council folks for Shelby County Speedway at Heart, Iowa. Sunsets. That's driven by Greg Schutz of Norfolk, Nebraska, for a 33 Chevrolet, powered by a Ford V8. It's going to stop by for 100 years and race around the Norfolk area, and Greg has raced this car since 1992. So the checkered flag coming out for these gentlemen, and it's going to be fun to watch them go for the green and cash after a while. And those things bring back a lot of memories. I remember when I was growing up near Chester, Nebraska. It was during the fair in Belleville, Kansas, and I would tell my folks that I was going down to the Belleville Fair, when actually this is before I was old enough to drive, didn't have a driver's license, I couldn't drive anyway, still can't. Well, I would tell my folks I was going to the fair, and I would just leave my friends, and I've never repeated this at a racetrack because I don't want the others to ever do 1933 Chevrolet, and I tell you, race fans, they know what's good. It's got a Ford engine underneath. guy leading is Greg Schutz from Norfolk, Nebraska, in a 33 lane. And a little history behind the winning car. We'll wait till the noise to calm down a little bit. Mentioned earlier in the evening about the 47 car that's been on display around Nebraska for the last 6 months or so, and the history of auto racing and the transpiration and cycle of how the Model T and Model A engines were built over the years. You can see those engines on display along with a lot of race cars. In fact, with the car that won at Terre Haute 20 years ago, 1976, the driver was Jan Oberman. That sprint car is on display in the Smith collection. You have to stop and see it. You have to see it. It is nice. Bill Smith and I did a little bit of bench racing Sunday afternoon. He had a little time on his hands, and it was fun to listen to some of the old racing stories that Speedy Bill had to talk about. In the 81 automobile, that particular car is driven by Richard Ferguson from Waterloo, Nebraska. It's a 37 Ford, and this one, race fans, it's powered by a Chevrolet six-cylinder. And car number 31 is John Ferguson. It's a 1931 Chevrolet six-cylinder from Fremont, Nebraska. And car number V8 is from Arlington, Nebraska. It's driven by Doug Wilkening. It's V8 Chevy powered. It's a 1939 Ford Coupe. It's originally from the Oakland, Nebraska area and displays the original number. He's bought that car back in May of this year, and he's done a little work himself on the automobile racing as well. Now, a little bit of smoke coming off the left side of the V8 car. You notice that the rumble seat, the trunk lid, keeps popping up on Ferguson's number 31. That's a brand new race car that John Ferguson has built. And he's the promoter of the Good Old Times Racing Association. And we're going to have a word with him during the intermission time. car number 31 happens to be John Ferguson. So we'll go 6 times around. Just about kind of beer bath there. Your current leader is the V8 car out of Arlington, Doug Wilkening, the driver. Trying to sneak up in a second position as Liz Dick is Greg Schutz from Norfolk and SCHU E2Z. Almost the same that's being right. White flag is out. Had a pretty good battle up in front between the 34 car and the 63. Schutz on the high side. On the low side, it's Don Matson as they come off a foot of a fourth. It is going. Don Matson. And so if Don stays out on the racetrack, we'll have a word with him. John Ferguson, he's supposed to leave his car out here. Well, we'll have a talk with him if Dean shows up. Excuse me. Mr. Don Matson with the Good Old Time Racing Association. You left the car fired for what reason? What's that? You left the car running. Will the thing start? Yeah, it'll start. It'll start. You want to shut it off for a second? Wow, now I can hear myself doing. Mr. Don Matson again from Omaha, Nebraska. How many years have you been involved with the Good Old Time Racing Association, or even this car in particular?
This is the third year we had the car, and the great organization, the Stallion Stock Car Association. This is the first year for this year, and it was the Stallion Stock Car Association. When we originally started with, and we went to this new class here, and it's like I said, it's the first year for this class. This year type here. And we're just going to give our best we can do.
Now, what drives you to build a replica of cars years gone by, as opposed to the Camaros and the factory stock Monte Carlos and so forth?
Let legends live on.
Legends live on. I don't know how old you are, and it's none of my business to know, but I love to see these old-time race cars on the track. I grew up with them. Days gone by, but I tell you, technology is nice, and our lives are better because of technology. But we cannot forget the past.
Right. I can remember and want to keep the history going.
So this very same car was driven by your father?
Not this original car here, but he has driven cars similar to this one here, the coupes and the sedans.
And which racetracks has he been involved with over the years?
This car here? It's been in Sioux City, South Dakota, Albion, Nebraska, Columbus, Nebraska, Norfolk, Nebraska, and here tonight.
So you don't stay home very much on weekends either, do you?
No.
The race fans, Mr. Don Matson from Omaha, Nebraska, the winner of tonight's Good Old Times Racing Association Trophy Act. And your applause is very much appreciated by him. And I know we got some cameras running over on this side. We'll get a shot of him. You want to zip over here? Jackie, where are you? She's over giving away more trophies. She's way ahead of me. There she is. A cold Sunday afternoon.
Yes, it was. It was definitely cold. It was a lot different than it is tonight.
At that point in time, you had the 47 car up there, and we told the race fans, my wife and I went into Speedway Motors last Sunday, and you had the 47 car, or somebody had the 47 car on display in Lincoln.
Yeah, Bart Hines had it down there, and it was kind of interesting. He said that Speed Bill down there was telling him that it was sitting beside the land speed record car, and more people were looking at the old coupe than there was on his land speed record.
Well, nostalgia is pretty important. We talked to Dan a little bit ago about the history of his car, the history of the car that his dad used to drive. Tell us a little bit about your involvement and why you are promoting quite diligently, I might include, I see you every place, with the 47 car, and I'm soon now with the 31 car. Why is it that you want to?
The secretarial work for. I'd like to give a special thanks to all my family and friends. I'd like to give a thanks to Doug, Classic Car Radio. He gave us a spot for an hour on his program here a while back. He put an article in his magazine, the Motorsport Almanac, and has really helped us promote this. And along with everybody else that's talked it up, that is seeing us, we want more members. If anybody's got any old tubes and stuff, get a hold of us. We're looking for more members to have some fun out here. Okay?
We're really glad to have you participating at the Beatrice Speedway tonight. Where are you off to next weekend?
Okay, next weekend we're going to take a couple cars up to Hartington just to show them off a little bit, like we did out here on the 4th of July. And on the 19th, we'll be up to Hartington, Nebraska at Cedar County Speedway. On the 4th of August, we'll be at Columbus at US 30 Speedway. And in the 18th of August, we'll be at Houston Speedway in Houston. It's up by Sioux Falls, South Dakota. And we're hoping to get a couple other tracks around locally here if they want us to play, which you'll be willing to come.
You're not letting any grass grow beneath your feet. Race fans, he's doing a super job, and it takes a lot of time. It's nice to see the old Tim back at the Beatrice Speedway. Give our good friend from Fremont, Mr. John Ferguson, a big round of applause for all the work he's put into this whole car. Thank you, John. Well, one more person we need to talk to, Kevin Snyder. I wasn't here Thursday night, but I heard that you were, and did a pretty good job. And you made your whereabouts known on Thursday night as well, winning the IMCA Modified A feature.
Yeah, we kind of fell into that one.
Information about these cars, and when they pass in front of the grandstand, we do ask that you give up and stand up and wave them up. Starting in the pole out of Ulysses, Nebraska, driving car number 47 will be Randy Peterson. On the outside of row number 1, it's going to be, it appears, the 81 automobile. That's Richard Ferguson from Waterloo, Nebraska. In the 58 car, car number 50. Association feature. They're going to run 12 laps around this racetrack. And no, the winner's not going to get any more money than the guy that finishes in 7th position. Each one of these cars will take home $50. And we're going to go and have to go to green. The battle here now as it hits up has done working and goes up into third position. In third place is the Ulysses from Classic. The 34 car, 9 foot fast. This revolution around the Angeles Speedway. John Massey now. That car sounds pretty strong. Of course, it would be smart. Now takes on the loop. There's great shots from Gotra. Second place and dropping back is the 34 automobile with Climber. And that is John Massey. Direction drug lifting in the V8 car. That car, of course, the V8 car is the 7th car running in 4th place. That is Randy Peterson again. And 5th position is part of the
And their first race was at Boone County Raceway in Albion on June 14th. And just a bunch of good old boys.
That was my son, right?
Lost a tire, axle, all over. So, yellow flag
Did you
is
get that?
out.
Yes, I think I did.
Back underway.
How many race engines does it take to change a battery?
Anyone can answer that? Yeah, get a, all right, get a, one of the others. I can learn to test radio, people. I got it changed. I did it all by myself, too. Hey, we're looking for it. No, we're not ready to go yet.
We're waiting for you to change your battery. The driver's going to know you.
Can you plug in?
Well,
But anyway, if you are interested
and I am.
in joining a group like this, a bunch of crazy old-time racers,
What do they have to do?
they got to contact somebody. They got to contact John Ferguson at 402-721-8306. Or if you want any information or questions about these old-time racers, come on up here. I'll give you the information. I'll give you the information. I will give you the information.
He's talking radio style now.
Oh, yeah. Hey, we're back to racing, by the way. And jumping out front, number 31, John Ferguson. Number 5, Bob Brent moving up into second. And number 8, Doug Wilkening is in third. Well, number 18 making his move now is Kerry Richards. Moving up into third place. Now he's moving up into second place. Bob Brent's dropping back to third and still up front.
all these came down in Texas. They flew in. They said, someone will bring a pump along. When they got here, there was no pump. And then they asked the guy in the airplane, he said, well, where's the pump? I said, is it coming later or what? And he says, no. He said, here's a matchbox. He's just sticking it in his belly, and he let the air out and put him in a matchbox.
Oh, okay. Is he sitting in the Knox County section? Oh, Wayne County, he says. Okay, it was not.
The jokes yourself. I don't read them.
Sorry. Brad doesn't know how to read. He can count. He can't do anything.
No, you don't.
Bobby, how much music of this?
Okay, this one we don't. Brenda.
Yeah, I think they're gonna get.
Nice joke, we just can't do it. last week, folks. And he wins our feature race for the nostalgia cars. Let's have a big round of applause for the nostalgia cars, folks, and thank them for coming up here tonight. You bet. Always a treat to have them up here and put on a little show for us. We do apologize. We get ready for our dwarf cars, the Good Old Time Racing Association. Bring it on of Rich Ferguson from Waterloo, Nebraska. On Ridge's outside, the number 34 of Don Matson from Bellevue, Nebraska. Back there in the back, the number 63 of Greg Schutz from North Fork, Nebraska, in a 1933 Chevy. Good Old Times Racing Association taking it down the back straightaway. This is basically an exhibition showing you where the racing roots are from. This is the way it used to be many years ago. Lots of these cars are original cars. Give you a shot at what your folks used to go watch, your grandparents. They worked their way down through 3 and 4. Lots of these cars, once again, are restored from original cars. Green flag coming out. Here they go. Racing Association. Ford. Peterson taking a spot, but here comes Matson back up on his inside. They go down around turns 1 and 2. The Peterson comes out ahead, taking them down the back straightaway. White flag down. Nebraska taking that 33 Chevy right to the front. Peterson running in second in that 1947 Ford, trying to hold off the 34 of Matson. Here they come off of turn number 4. The 63 of Shoots leads the way. Shoots drives the 33. 37. Randy Peterson bringing his 1947 Ford to second. Your third spot, the 1934 Ford, number 34 of Dan Matson. Running third, the number 5. Our second heat race of vintage cars rolling out. Whole front row, it's going to be the number 38 of Deb Lund, the only lady driver from Brandon, South Dakota. On her outside, the number 31. Yep. The number 31 of John Ferguson from Fremont, Nebraska in a 1931 Chevy. Second row on the inside, the B8 car of Doug Wilkin from Arlington, Nebraska, a 1939 Ford Coupe, and on his outside, the number 58 of Jeff Ferguson from Fremont in a 1932 Hudson. Green flag coming out. Here we go, your second vintage car heat race. Come down around turns 3 and 4. Your leader's going to be the number 38. Debbie Lund showing the way. The lady driver out front. The V8 car going to second is Doug Wilkin, the 39 Ford. Racing Association putting on the exhibition for you. Deb Lund looking good out front. Wilson running in that second spot to 31. Of John Ferguson running third to 58. Of Jeff Ferguson running in the fourth spot.
Saying that right?
Final time around for Deb Lund as she pulls out way out in front. She'll take him down the back straightaway. The 38 car from Brandon, South Dakota, 38 Chevy two-door sedan. Here she comes off a turn 4 down the front straightaway. Jeff Ferguson in a 1932 Hudson. Third row on the inside, the number 34. Of Dan Matson in a 1934 Ford sedan. On his outside, the V8 of Doug Wilkin from Arlington, Nebraska, a 1939 Ford Coupe. Then we got the 47 of Randy Peterson from Ulysses, Nebraska, a 1947 Ford. On his outside, the number 38 of Deborah Lund from Brandon, South Dakota, a 1938 Chevy. Back there in the back, he won the heat race, the number 63 of Greg Schutz from North Fork, Nebraska, a 1933 Chevy with a Ford engine. Good Old Times Racing Association turning the clock back one lap at a time. A lot of you old timers remember coming right here to the Shelby County Speedway, watching these guys, these old cars. Didn't watch these guys. Lots of our late model guys over here getting their cars dialed in for their A feature as we bring our Benny Joe cars down this front straightaway. Give them a big hand. Them guys are in there. They can hear you. You can wave at them. They'll be waving back at you. The 81, the 31, the 5, and the 58. The number 34. The V8 car. The 47, the 38. And back there in the back, the little green car, the number 63. Okay, we should be getting a start this time around for the Good Old Times Racing Association. Basically what they do here, this is an exhibition. They rebuild these cars to kind of show everybody the way they used to be years ago. Most of these cars are original race cars that these guys have found and restored back to their original condition. And some of them they put the 350 Chevrolet motors in it. Car back there in the back, that little 63, it's got a Ford engine. Green flag coming out. We're racing the Good Old Times Racing Association A feature. The 5 car jumping into the lead, but here comes Deborah Lund up on the outside. Debbie Lund takes the lead down the back straightaway. The 63 of Schutz hung up back there in the back. He'll be working his way to the front. Leading lap number 1, it looks like it's going to be the 38 of Debbie Lund as she brings them down the front straightaway. Bob French running in second. The 38 car having trouble coming up with turn 2. Everybody works by Deb as she has trouble. 63 has to spin to keep from missing her. 63 gets it back going, Greg Schutz. Green flag staying out. Your leader is going to be the number 31 of John Ferguson.
his way up the 58 car of Jeff Ferguson, spinning it out down in turns 1 and 2. Yellow flag will be coming out. Yellow flag coming out for the number 58 of Jeff Ferguson. Okay, yellow flag coming out for the Fremont, Nebraska, number 58 of Jeff Ferguson, the 1932 Hudson. Has a V8 engine, has been a stock car since the 1950s, originally belonging to Bill Schuler of Fremont. Jeff is the youngest driver on the Old Time Racing Association Touring Series. He gets the 58 fired back up. That's a 1932 Hudson. How many of you remember that? Anybody ever own one? Your leader is going to be the 47 of Randy Peterson. A 47 Ford has a 6-cylinder engine. Car is owned by Bart Hayes of Lincoln, Nebraska, and was purchased in May of 1996. John and Jeff and Richard Ferguson built the car in 1993. Randy previously raced IMCA cars and mini sprint, so he's looking good. Got some racing experience under his belt. Your leader. Running in the second spot, the 31 of John Ferguson in a 1931 Chevy with a 6-cylinder engine. Third to be the V8 car, Doug Wilkin, a 1939 Ford Coupe with a V8 Chevy engine. That car still displays the original number that it came with, so you know somebody that used to drive the V8 car years ago, that might be theirs. Green flag's back out, we're going racing. Shoots working his way up there. He's got that Ford V8 in that 1933 Chevy. The Jungle Green car works his way right up to the front. The V8 car and the 31 are side by side as they come off of turn 2 down the back straightaway. Shoots waits for him to make a mistake. Shoots goes with the V8. As they work around the 31 Chevy of Ferguson. Up in front, the 47 of Randy Peterson starts to stretch the lead out. Now, Greg Shoots looks on the inside of the V8 car as they come off turn 2. Looks like they might have got together. Shoots goes to second. The 63 car works his way to the front. Little bit of smoke coming out of the 58 car. Down the back straightaway, the 63 goes to the lead. The 1933 Chevy with the Ford engine is up in front. Greg Shoots bringing it down the front straightaway. For Greg Shoots. Peterson running in second. want you folks to forget tonight's sponsor of the races is the Zimmer Oil Company over there in Omaha, Nebraska. They are the official dealer for the Cal 76 Racing Fuel.
No.
There's a $250 bonus to whoever the Outlaws winner is tonight from Todd and Joanne Eggy of Eggy Automatic Service. Well, the Jim Matthews Memorial Race, a very special night each year here at Houston Speedway. It was 20 years ago on the 15th of August at 8:15 in the evening when one of the most popular drivers in racing history in the Sioux Empire, Jim Matthews, died at the Red Dot. Tonight, the sponsor of the Matthew car, Jay and Todd Eggy, Eggy Automatic Service, are presenting a special event tonight in honor of Jim Matthews. And that is the Old Time Racing Association, turning back the clock one lap at a time. And of course the car that Jim Matthews drove was the number 15 car. pole position is number 38, driven by Deb Lund of Brandon, a 1938 Chevy two-door sedan with a six-cylinder engine. Deb and her husband Bruce built this car about 4 years ago. She's their only female driver and the second woman to race at Thunder Valley Dragway. On the outside is number 32, Dan Sterner of Hartford. Here's a 32 Ford two-door with a V8 flathead. Sat in the junkyard from 1965 to 91. Used to be white when it was number 30. His first time in a race car was in July, just 4 years ago. Third row on the inside is number 41. It's the 31 car on the inside. This is John Ferguson of Fremont, Nebraska. A 31 Chevy six-cylinder, previously a stock car, came from the Republican city of Nebraska when it used to be number 26. He started rebuilding the car just this spring. And on the outside, number 47, Randy Peterson of Ulysses, Nebraska, with a 47 Ford six-cylinder. Car owned by Mark Hayes of Lincoln and was purchased in May of this year. They built the car about 3 years ago. Third row on the inside is the V8. That's Doug Wilkening of Arlington, Nebraska, with a 39 Ford Coupe with a V8 Chevy engine, originally from the Oakland, Nebraska area, displaying the original number on that car. On the outside is number 63, Greg Schutz of Norfolk, Nebraska, with a 33 Chevy with a Ford V8. Been a stock car for years, raced around the Norfolk area. And the fourth row on the inside is 56, Dr. Bill Mitchell with a 36 foot with a V8 Chevy engine in it. And on the back, in the position he used to race with Jim Matthews, number 55, straight. Fading into the infield now in respect of the 55. Right hold, former driver, Brent of Jimmy Matthews, has now gone to the infield and is making the nostalgia run out here in Jim's place. Eight-lap feature tonight. Will have the restart lead. Greg Schutz in the 33 Ford with Chevy with the Ford V8 engine. Has been racing around the Norfolk area, and he's raced that car for about 4 years now. Right behind is the 38 of Deb Lund of Brandon. Good Old Time Racing Association bringing the cars in tonight, turning back the clock 1 lap at a time. They are racing throughout this area. Some other races coming up. A week from tonight, they'll be at Columbus, Nebraska, the US 30 Speedway. That was from their rain out the early part of this month. And then coming up on Friday, September 6th, they'll be at Donovan, Nebraska in the Mid-Nebraska Speedway racing action. On the 8th at Omaha at Sunset Speedway. Cuddy comes topside, please. Greg Schutz of Norfolk, Nebraska in the 1933 Chevy and Ford V8 powered. Racing around the Norfolk area for many years, and Mike Griggs raced that car in 31. We'll follow with John Ferguson of Fremont, Nebraska, and number 32, Dan Sterner of Hartford, South Dakota. So those are our Jim Matthews Memorial event tonight, bringing back the old days that used to be here many, many years ago. And also along that same note, we would like to go to the infield on the front straightaway for a special award tonight. We'd like to bring
On behalf of Todd and Jay Agee, I would like to present to you a copy of the book Jim, biography of Jim Matthews that I wrote in his memory.
Thank you very much. I know Jimmy was a heck of a racer and really side by side. He taught me a heck of a lot of tricks. And, like you said, on the track, we were fierce competitors, but off the track, we really got to be personal friends with both of our families, and we still keep in touch. Thank you.
All right. Back up to you, Jenny.
Thank you very much, Tom, and congratulations to Bill Mellenberg, the former track champion here, the father of another former track champion, Chad Mellenberg, in the 97, who had the quick time tonight, and that special award of that book, which is out of print, by the way, that Tom Savage has written. It was just called Jim, and for those of you that watched Jim Matthews, you always saw that smile on his face, and he's probably smiling right now. The watches here. His widow, Genevieve, is with us tonight, along with a host of the Matthews and Eggie families here, and their granddaughter, Ashley Eggie, celebrating her 11th birthday today, will be presenting our
Price of Lincoln. Outside of him in the 58 is Jeff Ferguson from Fremont, a 1932 Hudson with a V8. Our youngest driver is only 19 years old. Driving in the 38, that is Deb Lund, from Brandon, South Dakota. In a 1938 Chevy two-door sedan with a 292 six-cylinder. And outside of her, that is the 31 of John Ferguson of Fremont, Gotra promoter, 1931 Chevy six-cylinder. And in the 63, Greg Schutz of Norfolk, and 1933 Chevy with a Ford V8. Setting the pace will be the 47 of Randy Peterson. There's the green. and a 1939 Ford Coupe with a V8 Chevy. The 5, that belongs to Bob French from Arlington, a 1935 Plymouth with a V8 Chevy. In the 34, that's Dan Matson from Omaha, 1934 Ford sedan 6-cylinder. The car is owned by Bob Matson and his father. And then in the 81, Richard Ferguson from Waterloo, a 1937 Ford 6-cylinder with a Chevy motor. And then in the 18, that is Terry Richards Sr. of Shelby, a 19 vintage and the 81 of Richard Ferguson. Oh, the winner of the second heat race in nostalgia cars, 18 of Terry Richard Sr. Jeff Ferguson. The thing is huge. That car is huge looking. I mean, my goodness. That's probably one of those 47 sedans that had all the room in it. Nice and comfortable. I'm trying to think what the top mile an hour of that car would have been. 80? Probably right here. Well, here comes our trophy car from Phil Spady's. I believe that is that Dodge Neon that they brought out Wednesday evening. We didn't have any trophy dashes, so they brought it back out so everyone could see it.
Yeah.
place and get trophies. So it's been a busy week out here. Races on Wednesday and so. But anyway, hey, the winner of the Trophy Dash in the Street Stocks, driving the 7 Taz, give it up for Rick Ware. And the winner of the Trophy Dash, you'll get one coming too there, you guy. With a car that the doors still work on. Can you believe this, Barry? I tell you what, and you know what? This car compared to the others, this thing looks like one of those monster trucks, you know? I mean, that's a huge vehicle. Now, is this a sedan?
Don't ask me.
Club coupe? Thing looks like a giant egg.
Hey, it runs.
It runs good. But I mean, it's just a huge car. What was it? Did anybody know what the top speed of this thing was when it was driven in 1947?
Oh, probably about 65 mile an hour.
That was looking. Well, anyway, this man hails from Ulysses. The Carter hails from Lincoln. Give it up for Randy Peterson and Bart Heist. Oh, I'll get a chance to talk to you. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that big motivator right there. And the winner of the Trophy Dash by a nose bar and a front wheel. Probably the toughest race he drove all night so far. Hailing from Fremont, number 72, Mike Lineberry. Come over here, Michael. It's been a rough road this year, hasn't it, Michael?
Yeah, second car this year.
You tore your first one up, bought a whole brand new chassis, and then had to work 3 weeks to get that set up.
Yeah, we've really been struggling.
But it seems like it's handling pretty well now. How you been doing at the other tracks?
Not very good.
Because I know you race at Harlan on Saturdays, correct?
Friday night we're at I-80.
At I-80. That's a tough track. That's not an easy track to tame at I-80.
That's where I crashed my car.
That's where you crashed. Did you crash Friday night? You haven't crashed here lately, have you? Oh. Yeah, who are you going to state fair with?
My wife.
Who are you representing?
US 36.
That's right. You'll be there Wednesday and Thursday, and I'm coming down Thursday, so you better do a good job for me, Mike.
Things go good Thursday. We might just stay there Friday.
Hey, there you go. Watch everybody who sponsors your car, Mike.
St. Dillon, Fremont, Diamond Racing Wheels, ATH Transmissions, Adams Oil, and Consistency Racing Products. Standard Distributing in Fremont.
Standard Distributing. And how about your pit crew?
Tonight I got my brother-in-law Gary with me and the guy from Valley Gray.
And of course the wife who keeps the books and everything, right?
She keeps the books.
That's right. She helps you with the car too, doesn't she?
She's a lot of help. Puts up a lot of late nights, not being able to go to a lot of places that most otherwise get to.
Yeah, how about a hand for Lori Lineberry, ladies and gentlemen? Look at, I'm embarrassing her. She says, don't talk about me. Well, Lori, you know, you're the backbone of the, you know, she's going to kill me now. The only thing that I ask is that she asked me to tell you is that this winter, you definitely have to stretch the carpet in the living room, okay?
My living room?
Yeah. Okay. Mike, good luck. Good luck in the future. Mike Lineberry, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, Mr. Peterson. Come on over here. And tell us a little bit about this organization that you race for, this Gotra, Good Old Time Racing Association. How many members do you have?
I think there's 14 altogether.
We got 10 cars here tonight, so that's not too bad.
Yeah. You got 6 new members started.
6 new members just joined, and seems like it's kind of a fun thing to do. The only thing with these old cars is you wreck them. You find a hard time to find parts for them.
Yeah, it really is. We've been working on this one. We had the frame brake and stuff last week in South Dakota. We were working on all week just to get her ready. Had to run her about a half hour before the races.
And the doors still work. In fact, we got a little bungee strap in here to hold the doors. You got locks inside. The door's still open, and so tell me who all sponsored your car, because that's the important thing.
Well, I'd like my own company, of course, CSC Incorporated.
Number is 402-721-8306. Thanks, guys. Have fun in the feature. All right, now we'll bring up the winner of the Trophy Dash in the street stocks. Car's already gone. Why? But it needs some work? The carburetor's got to be torn apart. The spark plugs have to be sparked. And the distributor has to be tweaked. Am I right? But you know, Rick, you raced out here a lot of years. This year, you and Mike Grant teamed up together. You're finding some good success this year.
Yeah, the car seems to be working real well for us. You know, me and Steve and Mike, we work hard on it every night. We're just trying to do the best that we can do with what we got.
And it seems like it's handling well for you. Some nights, I noticed when you blew your first motor, and that was your, I talked to Rick, and he says that was our big motor. And then they said they put in this pooch. I always like these race drivers. When they blow a motor, they put another one in. Oh, this one's a pooch, Then they go out there and win the next feature, so. But I know also the smaller engines that you don't hook up as well, you got to reset up the car because you don't have as much power.
Exactly. Yeah, we're underpowered quite a bit. We got a little 350 and everybody else has a 400.
It is almost a little easier to And how about on a dry slick track? Does that aid you better than if it would be tacky?
Well, it really don't matter to me. I kind of like the dry tracks. They're a lot funner to drive. It's a lot scarier. But the tacky tracks are fun too.
That's right. You got to make it down to the State Fair races?
You bet. We'll be down there.
That's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to try to make it down to the final 9 on Thursday and entertain the crowd a little bit there. So, why don't everybody who sponsors your car if you can remember?
There you go. We got Bryson Auto Repair in Monroe. We have Central Development Industries Incorporated in Columbus. We have Hemart in Monroe. We have B-Sex Bar, Hipsters Bar, A&E Bar, Pump Star Bar, Midwest Transmission, Midwest Glass.
A lot of bars. You don't run short of beer, do you?
Never.
Never. And how about your picture? You got Mike Brent. Who else helps you?
Hey, Mike and Steve. That's it.
That's it. You guys do a great job, and I tell you what, it's great seeing that. And there it is, the banner. First time I've ever seen a banner up here cheering on a race car. This is great. Well, congratulations, Rick. Good luck in the feature. How about another hand for Rick Ware, ladies and gentlemen? And let's bring up the band from Phil Spady. Phil Spady. And tell us about this car you brought up here, buddy. This little Dodge Neon. Well, Plymouth, Dodge, whatever, it's a Chrysler.
It's a 97. The color is magenta. It's an espresso package. It's got the big motor. It's got the spoiler. Got the power bolt good. Nice aluminum wheels. Little car sells for just over $15,000.
A sharp-looking car. Hey, would you like to have a car like that? And what is your name? And Carrie, which one of these is your dad here?
John, my dad,
Yeah, we got the Ferguson family here tonight. Well, and how old are you? 15. School started already?
Tomorrow.
Are you looking forward to it?
Yeah.
Oh, you're one of those people that like school, huh? Do you do anything extra in school, like cheerleading or anything like that?
I'm captain of the flag team in Fremont, and I play golf.
And coming Thursday, who's playing in Fremont? Columbus is playing in Fremont Thursday evening. Well, hey, thanks for being our trophy queen. And thanks for bringing the car out there, bud. Okay, if anybody wants to see the little Plymouth Neon, go to Phil Spady's Gotra Plymouth Dodge Subaru, incorporate it under the big flag. Take them away, boys. John is the Gotra promoter, and also he told me tonight that his mom's out here, first time out to a racetrack. So welcome. I hope you're enjoying yourself. Outside of him is the 81. That is Richard Ferguson. And then we have the 58 of Jeff Ferguson. And outside of him, the 5 of Bob French. And then the V8 of Doug Wilkeny. The 47 of Randy Peterson. So, 12 laps, bring us back to the past. Sit back and relax and enjoy the old nostalgia cars. Here they come.